Hi, my name is Mads. I'm the creative director for Azerbaijan. My first Eurovision experience was in 2004, where I was participating for Denmark as the backup singer, one of the backup singers for Thomas Tordersen. It's been a while, it's been a few years. And then again I was a backup singer in 2010 for Shania and Nevergreen. In a moment like this. I think it came fourth or something. And by then I was kind of bitten by the Eurovision family. And I did a lot of backup vocals for, I'm an educated musician, I'm an educated singer from the conservatory here in Copenhagen. I did a lot of backup vocals for the Danish pre-selection. And then I started working in television on the other side of the camera. I started in 2014 when the Eurovision was in Copenhagen. I was in the contest team producing all the acts for all the I think 41 or 42 delegations participating that year. And I was so lucky to get to do that the 4 consecutive years in a row in 14, 15, 16 and 17. Where was it? In Vienna and in Stockholm and in Kiev actually. By then the Eurovision craziness had completely taken over me and I really wanted to do more. I think it was super fun and also a very good learning experience for me to produce that many acts for the Eurovision stage. After that I became the contest producer of the Danish pre-selection in 18 and 19 and that was super fun as well. And then I started doing Azerbaijan in 19 also and continued with Azerbaijan from 19 and onwards. So that's my Eurovision story. I've been doing a lot of Eurovision shows and that's super fun. I love it. I've been fortunate to work with different head of delegations for Azerbaijan, and that's always fun to try to dig into the process and talk to them about how they want to do the thing. What I do mostly is focus on how are we producing what's on stage, and usually the head of delegation organizes the whole team around this, so it's a very strong collaboration and it's very important that everybody understands what the goal is for the song and that we're all on the same page, and the head of delegation is, very important in that process. And being part of the Eurovision contest team has taught me so much about the Eurovision process, and I think part of that is also why Azerbaijan keeps asking me to help them with the staging, because I know so much about how we get the results that we want on stage, because I work with so many different delegations over the years. And each year has been different with Azerbaijan, and to pick one out of the 4 is super difficult. It's like picking out which kid you like most. So I would say that all of them has been a learning experience also for me, and it's super nice to get so close to the artists and really work with them. I think maybe it's because it's the most recent one, but with Nadir I think we really connected on a deeper level, also because the song was very deep and emotional song, and for him it meant quite a lot, and for me as well. So right now that stands out a little bit because we really had a connection there. In 2020 the contest was cancelled for obvious reasons, and the song from Effendi, the Cleopatra, unfortunately didn't make it to the show, to the stage. But then we did it next year with Matahari, the next song from Effendi. And people have been speculating if we reused the staging, but I can promise you that we did not at all reuse anything from that staging from Cleopatra. Well, we did actually reuse one thing, the snake in the Golden Globe. It came from Cleopatra. but as a reference. But apart from that, everything was brand new because it's a different song. You can't take something from one song and put it straight into another song with a totally different concept. That wouldn't work. For me, the creative process starts, when I listen to the song first. I try to go inwards and find the emotional connection with the song, and I think that is the music. For me, being a musician, the music is a lot of the creative process. I mean, so much work has gone into making the music, so I kind of try to tap into that and just let the creativity flow. And sometimes you get stuck in that, and you can try to go online and seek inspiration, but there's so much creativity flowing on all sorts of different platforms, and you can go to a museum or wherever to find inspiration. But sometimes for me that confuses me more. So I try to really look inward or take a walk on the beach or whatever and emotionally connect with what is the message of this song, and then try to convey that, and then just do sketches, whatever your tool is, how you think best. I mean, some people are very tactile and want to draw, some people want to write, some people want to, I don't know, go for a long run, whatever. So whatever gets your creativity flowing is whatever works for you. And part of creating the staging is also the budget, which is super important. Sometimes it can be, at least. When I start working, I'd like to know how big the budget is, if there's like a vast amount of money or if there's little to no money. Eurovision is very expensive for a lot of delegations to even just to go there, and just to book the hotels and everything is quite an expensive thing to do. So usually there's not a lot of money for the staging, and you can do magnificent staging without paying a lot of money for big props or whatever. But if they are willing to spend money on a big prop or whatever, or special effects or something, then it helps to know that in advance, so you can be more free in your creativity. I start, pitching the highest, the most expensive idea first, or the most important idea, I would say, first, and then we scale it down to whatever is manageable. But usually it's also, we're on a tight deadline, so that's also a little bit tricky to find the right balance between how imaginative we can be and how much money we want to spend before we try to scale it down. If there's not enough time to do the downscaling, then we just start where the budget is. And then if there's a super good idea, I can usually go back and ask, so can we get money for this amazing idea? And then sometimes they'll say yes, and sometimes they'll say no. Working with Eurovision is, I think, for everybody, every year, I think a lot of people, they keep on coming back to Eurovision because it's, as well as it's a community and a family that share the love of music and diversity and everything. It's also a learning experience because it's like a platform where you showcase a lot of different things from a lot of different countries, and you meet a lot of super talented people from a lot of different countries, and bringing all those people together in the Eurovision bubble and sharing that experience is super interesting, I think, for a lot of people. And that's why people, including me, keep coming back, because it's just like a playground for creatives and for just music lovers and adults in general. So it will be super fun to do that more, also with Azerbaijani people, and maybe, engaging more. I have actually never been, even though I've been working for 4 years with Azerbaijan, I haven't been to Baku. I haven't been to Azerbaijan yet. It's a big mistake, mainly because of the pandemic and time issues, schedule issues. But I'd love to go and try to be involved more in the whole process of Eurovision in Azerbaijan. So starting the process with the artists when I'm not there, it's usually it starts with an online meeting where we try to connect, and I try to get under their skin as to how do they see themselves as artists, how would they like to portray themselves on stage, and then from there it develops. And I know Azerbaijan has a very different culture from Denmark or any other country in Europe, but for me, what speaks the loudest, this might be tacky, but it's the language of music, and so I try to get into that language, and that's kind of like a universal language, I think, for everybody. So that's my go-to, is to try to connect with the music and the artists, and then develop it from there. This year's staging, I won't reveal too much, but of course the twins will be on stage. I don't think a lot of other people will be on stage, and we have already decided quite a lot. The EBU needs to get everything delivered, I think, by the 8th of March, so everything is already set. We've had online meetings, and thanks. We've had online meetings, and the process is going really well this far. We are doing the finishing touches, and then when we meet up in Liverpool, we'll start rehearsing like really intensely. They're working with a vocal coach to get everything in place, and I'm looking forward to it.